Guru Purnima. Today is Guru Purnima, and I am giving a little talk here about my experience with my guru, Master Charles Cannon. There's Master Charles and I. We're sitting on a boat just outside of Byron Bay on Master Charles' birthday, which was the 14th of March. The guru, in my life, the guru has been absolutely everything and remains absolutely everything. The spiritual tradition that I'm in is actually what's known as a Shaktipat tradition. And in the Shaktipat tradition, the guru holds a special function. Shaktipat tradition is a unique tradition in the yogic field, in the sense that it's a tradition within yoga wherein there is an innate capacity inherent in a realized teacher to transfer or transmit or radiate the shakti, the energy of awakening, that Kundalini shakti. When the Kundalini process has come to its fulfillment in the Sahasrara, and the individual consciousness has merged in its source, Paramashiva, the universal consciousness, there's an inherent capacity that is born to transfer this energy, and it's similar to one candle lighting another. When I was in the presence of my guru, Master Charles, my entire interior, we could say, would undulate and vibrate and expand, and it from within itself would reveal the fabric of existence as being a shimmering, scintillating, partying, frolicking, wild celebration of Shakti, of consciousness. Anytime I was anywhere near Master Charles, the interior of my being would literally explode. And it would be revealed that the substratum of the universe, the essence of all the forms, the essence of the life energy itself, is this kind of dancing, vibrating energy. It was really, always vibrating and dancing and celebrating. It was really an energy, as a consciousness celebrating itself. The things that my guru used to say in his talks were revealed directly. And this is the guru principle in action, ultimately, is that there's the dimension of the guru where they are a person, a human being, and they can say something to you, they can impart a teaching, and their interaction with the student on many levels is the leela of awakening. It's a leela of the guru principle, a play. The word leela means play. However, deeper than this interaction between the person of the teacher and the person of the disciple is the dimension of consciousness, which is universal, and in a teacher in whom the guru principle is active, where this divine consciousness, the oneness of consciousness, has been revealed, then the energetic field of that teacher itself entrains and vibrates the energy field of the student, especially if they are open and receptive and there's a karmic, connection. There's a grace-born connection, a divine connection. But irrespective of that, the energy field of the teacher vibrates in the entire environment, and especially the other human beings that are around. That subtle dimension of their consciousness, of the student's consciousness, is activated because it's in the presence of that dimension of oneness that's activated in the guru. It's really quite simple. It's quite simple. My guru, Master Charles, used to say, hang around the sun and you get a suntan. It's as simple as that. He used to really emphasize this. And that is guru yoga. You see, in the Shaktipat tradition, something that comes with that is guru yoga. And we see a version of this in the Tibetan spiritual tradition as well. Guru yoga, both, and this transmission and a tantric approach. So in the Shaktipat tradition, the guru is someone that you can come to, you can ask questions, you could attend a satsang, you can receive Shaktipat, which is a ceremony within which the energy of awakening, this Shakti, is transferred. Literally, Shakti means energy, and then Pat means transfer. So it's an energy transfer, and it's once this energy of Shakti, the awakened Shakti in the teacher, is transferred into your being, it's not a finite dose of energy. Shakti is infinite. In any one particle of Shakti, or one, quanta of Shakti, you could keep on extruding out of that an infinity of Shakti, enough to fill the universe. Love is the same thing. Love has the same infinite dimensionality to it. So, I would visit my guru, and anytime I got anywhere near him, especially in the darshans, at the beginning of the satsangs, he would stand up. We'd be in Melbourne. He'd stand up at the front of the room, and they'd play this beautiful music, this song Wai Guru with the harp, and we would all stand and slowly go in the queue to greet Master Charles, and he would pull you into an embrace and whisper in your ear, "Bless you." And as I stood in that queue, the voices of the people chatting, even if someone was speaking directly to me, looking me in the eye, would all suddenly sound as if it was in the distance. And my heartbeat would start to race. My heartbeat would become really strong. My breathing would sometimes spontaneously change, become quite deep. And as I approached Master Charles, like my entire consciousness would expand with a kind of cyclonic force of Shakti, until the point where by the time I got to him, and my attention was on Master Charles, and so I'd be looking at him, and my attention would be absorbed into the transcendental field of oneness, and it would become overwhelmingly clear and obvious and apparent in an intensified revelation that the guru is not the man but the awakened consciousness that's flowing through that man. And that same, it was simultaneously being revealed, that same dimension of consciousness where attention and life energy was being absorbed into, and it's expanding outward, is the source of the beingness in this body. So the revelation was, and the recognition is that there's one universal consciousness living through all the bodies. My pet cat, it's the same consciousness. The tree outside, it's the same consciousness. All objects are vibrations of the one consciousness, and this was revealed in a living revelation, powerful revelation. My body would burst into a vibratory field. So by the time I got back to the seat, tears were pouring on, involuntarily coming down. It was like a state of enormous relief to be absorbed in an infinite, non-finite, dimension, and in an all-pervading infinite oneness of love and energy and happiness. And my body would just filled with this intense, I call it muscular vibrations, and my body would do all kinds of kriyas and things, sometimes for hours. And that, even though that was happening with an absolute intensity, the root of attention, or you could say that attention itself was absorbed in its source, which is an ocean of love. So the Guru also demonstrates that it's possible to be in this realization, in this living recognition, to live in the intensity of the immediacy of the oneness of being, which is all pervading, and of the nature of love and happiness and bliss and peace. It's immortal. The body will pass away. The consciousness that you are is eternal. The mind changes continually. The witness of the mind is eternal. And the consciousness that's witnessing the mind, the consciousness that's hearing these words right now, is universal. It's all pervading. It's eternal. And see, the Guru also demonstrates this capacity to be living, seemingly somewhat, to greater or lesser extent, quote unquote, normal life. And that it's possible to be in this awareness of oneness. I would live for these, Master Charles would come to Melbourne twice a year, and I'd go home after his visit and do my work, my simple little job. I always seem to earn enough just to barely to get by. And then it was 6 months until he came again. And I'd go to see him, and there'd be so much Shakti transferred. There'd be so much Shakti received that truly I used to feel it will take a lifetime to, it was a lifetime in every meeting, a lifetime's dose of Shakti. But I'd drag other people to see him. Come with me, you're going to meet this Guru. Your being will explode. The source of your own being will be revealed to be an infinite ocean of love that is eternal and immortal. Oh my Lord, amen. And people would come with me and they'd say, he's an interesting guy, I guess, Dave. All right, and I said, didn't this happen? And it didn't happen for everyone. And I think that's to do with, your resonance with the teacher and maybe some kind of karmic connection, and just divine destiny as well. And another thing about the Guru in this path of Kundalini Maha-Yoga, as it's called, is that we can, it's a unique path in that you can just give yourself to the Guru, give your life to the Guru. So you can surrender your problems and your worries and your spiritual well-being to the teacher. And it's not that when you do that, it's not quite that you're giving all of that to the person, you see, but you're giving it to the principle of grace that's manifest through the vehicle of that person. Although it's the same as surrendering to God, but it's in the understanding that God's grace is functioning and is kind of coming into the world in a powerful way through the vehicle of that teacher. And you're surrendering to the universal Guru, the Guru principle, which is the principle of grace, which is the same thing as surrendering to the inner Guru. But, in this path of Shaktipat Yoga, that's something that's available, and that's part of the path, whether or not you're drawn to that, is that you can, as your principle and your primary practice, you can surrender to the Guru. You can meditate on the Guru. Master Charles would meditate on his Guru Muktananda, and Muktananda used to meditate on his Guru Bhagwan Nityananda, because you see that awakened Shakti, that dimension of oneness that is awake through the vehicle of that individual, of that person, by meditating on even the form of the teacher, while remembering that their true nature is this oneness. You need to remember what they've expressed to you, that the true nature of the Guru, the true nature of the teacher is this infinite oneness of consciousness and Shakti, which inherent in the oneness of consciousness, there's a power, and that power is Shakti. This is Shiva and Shakti, which is really one. It's like saying the hand is Shiva, and the dance of the hand is Shakti, or the capacity, you see? The capacity of the hand is Shakti, and the hand is Shiva. They're one. Two different modes of one being that are always simultaneously present. So this is a little bit about the Guru principle. And anyway, Master Charles, over the course of our relationship, and I was blessed to have quite a close relationship with Master Charles, he encouraged me to teach, and eventually I accepted the encouragement, and he gave me what is known as the Guru's command, saying to me, I'm giving you the same command that my Guru Muktananda gave me. He said, bring Kundalini awakening to the West by giving Shaktipat, and teach the non-dual energy yoga in a modern way. And he said to me, you'll do this in your unique way. He said he did it, speaking to me. He said, David, I did this in my unique way. I didn't copy what Muktananda did. And he said, you won't copy what I did. And then he said to me, but I want you to call it Kundalini Yoga. That's how I want you to speak about it. This is Kundalini Yoga. So here we are, and now it's Guru Purnima. And it so happens that monthly, at the moment, it might change, but at the moment, monthly, I am giving a distance Shaktipat, followed by an online meeting, Satsang. And we're doing one of these tonight. And there's typically, a dozen, half a dozen adventurous souls from different parts of the world who participate. And you're invited if you're interested in Kundalini awakening. The purpose of that transfer of energy from the teacher to the disciple is its purpose and its function is that when the Shakti from the teacher enters into the disciple, it's the Shakti is the mother. It's coming from it's the Shakti that gives Shaktipat, and the Shakti awakens the dormant Shakti in you. You see, when we say Kundalini Shakti, the word Kundalini just means coiled. So to say, oh, I awakened my Kundalini, you've got to say, for it to make sense, when it's fine, we know what we mean, but really linguistically, you'd say, it's Kundalini, I'm awakening, or I awakened Kundalini Shakti. I'm working with Kundalini Shakti, which means the Kundalini means coiled. It's just one way to say it. I like potential, you see. I awakened my dormant potential energy. So it's normally dormant Shakti, but it's there in its fullness, but it's in a compacted state, and it expands and opens its fullness, which is it opens in and it literally becomes what's known as Virmasha. You see, the dance of Shakti reveals the silence of the heart, the oneness of Shiva, the totality of being, in the same way that the stars in the night sky accentuate the vastness of space. And it's those stars that the Guru sends forth into your being to then accentuate and reveal that vastness of space and the oneness of being in you. And that's the function of the Guru, And then the personality of the Guru is another thing like that. The Guru has a life, might be married, might not be married. The Guru may be vegetarian, might not be vegetarian. The Guru might be celibate, practicing brahmacharya, or they may be sexually active. A Guru, they may be talkative, they may be silent vocally. You see, they might be modern and hip, they might be a staunch traditionalist. All of those things are simply the characteristics of the body-mind. The thing that qualifies a Guru as being a Guru, in this sense that I'm speaking about, of course there are different types of Gurus, but in this sense, the spiritual Guru in this Shaktipat tradition is the awakened consciousness. And we could add to that, having received the Guru's command as another dimension of that. But the main thing is that awakened awareness, that spiritual energy. Okay. Happy Guru Purnima. Om Namah Shivaya.